Hello, people. I tried to do a live one from Facebook, but it didn't upload properly. So I'm using this one. I apologize for that. My name is Daniel Bowman, and I'm the proud owner of All Point Cleaning Services. We specialize in janitorial work, contractual and non-contractual. We also look after residential, move-in, move-outs, landlord, disasters response, and emergency cleanup. Pretty soon we'll be expanding our services, hopefully in the next few years, to include things like pest control and pressure washing, as well as other things as we add to it. This will require a name change from All Point Cleaning Services to All Point Building Services. My concern today is for certain companies that have been abusing employees and violating our labor standards through things like subcontracting and other means. Now, for these newcomers, okay, they're not quite sure and savvy of our laws, and so they do have a little bit of chance by which they can learn and grow. And oftentimes we are extending our hand in friendship, even though they're competition, to be able to educate them on rules and regulations here in Canada. Over the last few while, we have come across these Canadian companies owned by Canadian people who have been circumventing the law by moving their office outside of Saskatchewan, avoiding Saskatchewan law and Saskatchewan prosecution. They have spread from one end of the province to the other, an office also in Manitoba and Alberta, as well as other provinces. They grow faster than cockroaches in an infested home full of food, etc. So what do? We bring it to you. If you're a former employee of this firm, which I cannot name, please get a hold of us, as we're looking to gather as much statements as we can, along with the evidence that you were a part of that company, as well as anything you can put in writing, and get a hold of us by email and or texting or phone, and we'll come get it from you if we have to be able to then be able to look at legal action on a class venture on your behalf. All Point Cleaning has taken a step forward, as always, to be one of the highest ranking as far as ethics goes. Oftentimes we use methods similar to this other company to grow and be able to survive. That being said, we don't compromise on our ethics, being that the employee finally gets the upper hand, whereas they find ways to deduct fees, costs, and other hidden things by which they never inform the employee, and therefore are not able to make a complete living, often sometimes in substandard conditions, being required to buy their own chemicals while the owner and corporation eats up a good chunk. High unexpected fines are levied out on employees that mess up. There's nothing in their contract specifying that they could do it, but they enforce these penalizing projects by which they enforce on other people. We've become aware of this, and we do not agree with this standard. Although myself and another individual which I know used to be a partner of this, we left that company and situation by which to be able to go on our own and distance ourselves from their ethics, because we do not agree with that. We believe in honest employment as well as honest work. We never say we're going to do something that we cannot do, and we never walk out on a contract until its job is finished. We have two standards that are main first and foremost. The first standard is that as an employee, we have our own standard, which mostly ranks out as one of the highest in this province of Saskatchewan, as well as the contractor or individual of the site manager or whatever, they have their standards as well. Although our standard has often been rated as higher than their expectations, we still involve them in the inspection process, and we don't consider a job done until such time as they are happy, sometimes even going over it 20 times if necessary, just to please them while they are viewing that their satisfaction is in place. It sometimes tries our patience, granted, but we'd rather have our customer happy, showing that we do everything in our power to complete a job or task. We will never say we can combat a stain if we can't identify a stain, although for most of us who have 10 or plus more years of experience, which the majority of my employees do, can identify a stain, and no matter how old it is, if not loosen it, then eradicate it. Our world is changing, and we have these companies that will compromise on whatever we do or whatever we say. So we need to understand that even though this may require changes in law or lead to changes in law that will affect our company, is a price we're willing to pay simply for the standard of ethics that needs to go forth in our country to ensure that individuals have a fair and livable wage. As we move forward in the future, if you're a former employee of this company, please do get in touch with us by email or phone. We are happy to take your name and statement as long as the proof that you were actually there. And then we are going to combine these statements together and seek out a lawyer to take the case forward in a class action. Over the next few days, I hope that many of you will respond to our plea toward you, and we are able to get a hold of you no matter what we do, until we can at least standardize what we do and bring honor and respect back to our business. I thank you for your time. If you're a company using this other corporation and you know who we're talking about, you understand the lies and deceit that they have done for you, often blaming the employee or the contractor for mistakes that they have made and punishing those individuals without any warning whatsoever, with hefty fines of $100 or more. These people work hard for their living, often are delayed in their payment, often do not receive their payment, or if they find ways to extract it back so they don't have to pay. We need your word. We need your statements to be able to fight and cease this individual. If we can get enough together and are able to launch a class action on behalf, there's two guarantees I make. One, 100% of any income that we make minus the legal fees will be turned over to each employee statement that we have received. And two, that individual and company will then cease to exist because they'll lose too much money to remain. They've been allowed, and the owner's been allowed, to pocket a copious amount of money and funds in his own pocket for his own pleasure, at the backs and sweat of the individuals at their concern, without any care or concern as to what their well needs are met. Decisions are made without proper investigation. When a choice is done or an error is made in our company, you can guarantee that our supervisors and even our headship, such as myself, will appear on that site. We will have a discussion with that employee, as well as take measures as to what we should do moving forward. If it requires a replacement employee, maybe that site just isn't fit their suit. So maybe we should need to find something that's more appropriate for them and more appropriate for you. If you're a corporation that's looking for that type of service, we'll be happy to step up and sit down and talk. We deal with contractual work as well as non-contractual work as well as we take subcontracts from other companies and serve many. We come with letters of recommendation as to our quality and satisfaction of former customers as well as current customers. We thank you for this. Circulate this out. Get the word out. If you're a former employee, it is very important for you to get in touch with us. Please and thank you very much. Until next time, this is Dan Bowman with All Point Cleaning Services. Thank you.